everyone, and welcome back as always.
Hi.
We're back again. We're going to be watching Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
They have no idea.
I thought it was Edge of Town.
Edge of Town. Edge of Town.
I knew it was Edge of something.
Edge of something.
Edge of Night.
We have nothing on the TV right now.
It's a soapy.
With the fire stick
Years
on,
ago, I
but
never watched it, though.
any idea? They have no idea. So
Edge
you
of
have to guess.
Tomorrow. So
I did tell them Tom Cruise is in it.
Cruise.
Where'd you, Mom
Sci-fi.
cringed? Where'd you cringe?
Sci-fi.
He does Mission Impossible stuff movies.
You know, I never saw Mission
didn't do that, but
Impossible.
I just saw.
I know it's
commercials.
bad.
Yeah.
There's a list, as you know. Like, they've
Never
only seen what's on the
ending
channel.
list.
I've seen a lot of things on the channel. I have seen other stuff in the past before, but not so much.
I've seen Risky
Friends and
Business
Family,
with
which was
him.
fun.
I didn't see it with him.
I never
but
saw that. Would be
wish
pretty
I
cool.
did. My reaction.
Never
would be,
saw that.
I wouldn't even be looking at him. I'd be just looking at him.
Yeah, Top Gun. I saw parts
Top
of
Gun.
that. I never
Top-
saw that
I
all the
love
way
that
through.
movie.
I'm
That
so
was a great
sad.
movie.
But I really love Tom Cruise as an actor, and I know we were kind of joking about like what he does with the Scientology thing, and but he is a cool actor. My DVD actually said "Live, Die, Repeat," so I used to call it
So
that
he
instead
lives
of Edge of
again.
Tomorrow.
Oh, no,
So what does that mean?
Edge
Live,
of
die, and
Tomorrow.
repeat, and
So
then,
he
yeah.
lives, he dies, and then he
Go over again.
repeats it tomorrow.
Repeats it again.
No, it's just one.
Kind of sounds familiar in a different way. I don't know. So I think we should get into it and see what
Circle
it's
of
about.
life.
Yeah,
The
let's
circle of
go.
life.
The
Yeah,
circle
it's
of
good.
life. It's about the circle of life.
Many times over.
Oh, I'm so happy we're going to be watching this. So they have no idea, as you know. I did see this a while ago, and that's all I'll say until the end.
This is an alien invasion in a global war. With a new jacket technology and limited amount of training, we've been able to create super soldiers.
Not so much as a paper cut.
He's like, are you serious?
That's not going over too well.
It's
Arrest this man.
No, I had the feeling it wasn't going to go too easy.
Oh my God, he's
Oh
gonna.
my God.
Guess he's going anyway.
In cuffs.
Oh, metal bitch. Oh.
Private cage.
He stripped him
Oh,
of
jeez, yeah, he's flipping down.
being a major.
He did blackmail him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, look at
Crazy
him.
eyes.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Kimmel!
Where is the safety?
Exactly.
Oh, jeez.
There is
It's
none.
like that.
Bloody hell. It's the full metal.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, okay, I'm exhausted.
God, it's like wearing heavy snow
Wow.
pants.
Jeez.
No.
I do feel bad for him.
Yeah, he's perspiring. You can see that.
He's so scared.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know how to work it at all.
No, I know.
Oh.
What the? Whoa.
They're on cables.
And they don't show him anything.
Oh, I just hit his head.
Oh my God.
Oh, he just fired up. Watch out for your
Oh my
buttocks.
God. Whoa.
Ooh.
I don't think he survived.
He's coming for ya.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh.
Oh.
Holy crap.
What the heck?
Oh my
Whoa,
God.
that was right there. Whoa.
Can't even move fast enough.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, sure. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, natural.
Oh my God.
He is good at remembering, though.
Yeah. Deja vu.
Cheers, bitch!
I like that response. Yeah.
How bad is it?
She's okay.
Is there a lot of blood?
You have a hole in your chest.
My battery.
Yeah.
It's like you're for dead. That sucks.
Oh,
Oh, so he keeps
my
waking
God.
up. So he's
Been there. I've seen it. You're all doomed. You're doomed.
Oh, he seems like a crazy person.
yeah.
damn.
I'm gonna say it's
Now
gonna
he died.
repeat. I should laugh. I thought it was gonna repeat again. He's going ahead though.
Darn it!
He goes right to it
Okay.
again. He just gets missed.
We have to go. This dropship is about to explode.
What are you doing?
Find me when you wake up. What? Come find me when you wake up.
Finally, wake up.
Did he mess up? Is he gonna start again?
What will you think?
But would you please just explain to me what the hell is happening?
What happened to you happened to me.
I was gonna say if it maybe it happened
And
to us.
lost it. Okay.
This is the first time we've had this
You
conversation.
should try this on him.
What the hell is that?
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Didn't work.
Has he had any visions yet?
Visions of what?
Have you seen anything strange?
Is he shitting me?
Visions.
Visions. Have you seen any visions like that?
She's awesome.
You alright, Cage?
I think we better start over, don't you?
What?
Oh, gotta kill him.
Jeez, just like that. Start
He's gonna be so numb to die.
God, I tell you.
Hold on. Listen.
He's just
Oh,
gonna
geez,
kill
there you
you.
go again.
Damn.
Okay, do it.
Do it.
Ooh, at least she's a good shot. Can travel through anything.
Whoop. I can't know what's gonna come. Oh boy.
They're both really good together.
That was well choreographed. Lock your doors if you had one.
She unhooked the caravan.
No,
I forgot to unhook the trailer.
Oh no, just one in there.
oh wow. Whoa. I was waiting for something to start. I was anticipating. Oh my god.
10 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'm killing you.
Fine. Normal conversation.
Yeah, that's right.
Going in right with the axe.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 grenades and an extra battery.
Now. Now.
Get it.
Yeah, now he's just triaging.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? We don't need him. Saving bullets.
Ooh, look at that. How it freezes.
Oh my god.
Wow, he's just going. Something's there. Oh crap, his gun! His gun! Shit. Shit.
He knocked the gun away.
Yep. Oh no, he's wounded.
What do we do now?
Thank him and have a nice day.
You've never gotten this far.
Jeez.
Oh, he got shot. God damn it, now she's gotta kill him.
Oh god.
Wow.
Thank God.
What took you so long?
Oh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Bullocks.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Oh.
Come on. Ooh, it's gotta come in.
Just to even keep track of where they are, they're so
Oh,
fast.
So fast. Oh my. There's so many. Oh my god. Oh no. That's the alpha.
We've been through worse.
That was pretty good.
Nice.
That was
We've
pretty
been
good.
through worse. They can go through anything.
God, it has no boundaries. Instant.
It's one weakness, a huge weakness.
Oh no, it's not becoming. Oh, he woke up. Wow.
Hey.
It's lucky,
Right
huh?
from the-
Restarts right before all
Yeah.
that shame.
Yeah. Oh, so-
Yes? What do you want?
He wants you.
You have no idea.
Yeah, right? Oh my god.
So what do you guys think?
Oh god.
I
love
like
the
it
song.
a
I
lot.
like it a lot too.
It,
But, gets confusing, but you know. After a while, you get
Very
it.
different from other
Oh
things
my
that we've
Hugely
seen.
God.
different.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
I think you followed it pretty well, though.
Yeah,
yeah, I did.
I did too.
A couple
yeah.
questions here and there, but
So Cage, he had a whole lot of character development all the way
oh, yeah.
tremendously.
Repeat,
Yeah.
learn, repeat.
Because I know you mentioned something about Groundhog's Day,
Yeah.
and I have seen parts of that. I know about it and how he
Yeah, I
repeats
know
the
that
day.
too. That's why I was saying it because repeats the day,
Yes,
but
But it's kind of like that, and it has more scientific meaning behind it, you know,
Yeah.
where, well, kind of, you know, it's sci-fi, but
Yeah.
you die if you make a mistake.
yeah, by alien blood, you know.
You need to die.
So I know there's probably some plot holes with that, of course. Again, when it comes to time, we had that conversation with Back to the Future, and I know with Endgame, you know, we were talking about like how time, we don't know how exactly time works when it comes to going to the past, resetting or whatever, going to the future. But with this, what did you think about the whole time idea?
It was insane about the enemy gaining knowledge every time. Like every move we made or they made, the enemy knew.
Yeah. So
And
that's
they got
sad.
smarter.
That's horrible
They got
because
smarter and smarter and smarter.
even for us to have that kind of technology would just be insane. Like that would be so scary because there's so much control there and it's so dominating that there's no more free will at that point, I would think, because whoever has the power controls everything.
And only a selected few knew.
A very
Yeah, knowledge.
selective view.
Right, yes,
Yes,
Only three.
That's right.
with Rita actually being able to go through this so many times and watching a loved one, she said 300 times die, so who knows how many repeats she had.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if she had the same relationship as Cage did with her.
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's what I think
Because he
too.
Yeah.
fell in love with her just because he saw so many different
Yeah,
scenarios.
yeah.
of
So
her
he
dying.
lived
It
so
could be
many
like that.
lifetimes with her, who knows how many times he reset, because he
right.
did way beyond 300, I want to say, to actually know how to maneuver through that
my
field.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, the beach with all the different, like, aliens coming on, the mimics and stuff. Like, there's so much going on, and blast, and
You learn. You go back in time, and you go ahead, and then you learn.
yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
amazing
yeah.
how he remembered not only
Yeah,
what
everything
people
he
said,
remembered.
their dialogue,
Yeah.
you know,
Where to
how many
move.
steps to take,
Yeah.
duck, look to the right. It was like
Oh
a
my
well
God,
choreographed
yeah.
dance of his life that every step
Thank
He
goodness
made, he had to
good
remember.
memory. Yeah.
I'm glad they showed that from the
very
beginning because I'm like, wow, he's really good. Because,
Yeah.
like, even with me, I'm like, oh god, I would totally screw that up to remember every single line.
I think he's
like,
actor,
you're
you
just
remember the lines.
That's right.
I know, exactly. He brought that right into his character. That's great. But it's cool that that came to play right away, where he just remembered the second time or the first time he reset, he remembered everything that happened the first time.
Right, especially
So I was curious at the end, and let me know if you think differently, but I'm so happy he did reset at the end and everything actually happened to be good in his favor, which I was very happy about. I love happy endings. I'm curious as to why he reset before he even shamed himself, before he betrayed his country or whatever. And when he blackmailed the general, he reset before the initial times he's been resetting throughout this whole movie. Yeah. That Alpha died after the Omega died, and the blood still got into Cage's veins, and he reset the day. So why would that happen if the Omega died? You know, because how would they still have the time? Why would they still have the time reset if the Omega's dead, which is the brain? So that, I'll let it go. I don't know if you guys have an opinion on that, but that's the only thing where I was like, oh, how did that really happen if the Omega, or it was dying in the process and we were just kind of jumping around, seeing the mimics dying and the Alpha
it died in
stronger maybe. And,
because that doesn't make sense how it could happen.
But I'm sure there's a lot of things you can pick apart too. But I love how complicated the story is. It's kind of simple, but it's complicated too. And I love how Cage started off as this showman of like, okay, this is how the army is and everything's great, and trying to motivate the soldiers to go out.
He had an advertising company, so he knew how to sell things, and he was
exactly
selling himself.
Yeah.
And you know what? In that respect, it really saved him to get to these steps. Like, you know,
he's the one who ended up saving the world.
The J group, and he remembered everyone's name. I mean, he was kind of selling them, and you know, so his profession, his true profession, before the military,
came into play and really helped. And I love his character development. He was that, and yes, that helped him remember stuff and to repeat things all the time. But I think training with Rita and really learning how to be a soldier. And we kept going through these days, and yet he was so cowardly. Of course, like, oh my God, like I had so much anxiety the first time I saw this, and I'm like, he's trapped in this scenario.
Yeah,
he
they
can't
wouldn't
get
even
out
help
of
him
it.
with the safety.
No,
but he was a deserter too.
Every time he went back, he was learning more when he went forward.
Exactly.
So that's what.
Pretty cool. I thought that was cool. And just to think how that would mess with your mind, trying to survive and repeat every single day and knowing you have to die. Like, that's a lot to take in. And I love how this movie flowed, where we saw a couple times in the beginning when he first reset, we're repeating the day like Groundhog's Day, and then we kind of accepted, okay, this is what it's going to be about. It's going to be repetitive, like he's going to live the days over again. But once we got that idea the first like 3 times, then they started to move along the story with us seeing parts further along, with him getting further along in the beach, you know, befriending Rita and learning from her and going forward in different areas and trying different techniques to get where they need to go.
Like, don't worry about the guy with the no pants on, you know, he's got to die, you know, I got to get to the helicopter.
He learned a lot as he went.
He moved right from the beach, then he finally jumped when he got that confidence and that really, when they took off before they were supposed to take off just by themselves, just a group. And he was, you know, talking to everybody. He was like, I need more ammo. No, before that, he was like, I need more ammo. I need this. I need that. And he's like, looking at the
He was so hard. Like, at that point, you knew he's been through so much. He died so many times. So I'm sure he felt every time he died.
Was it Griffin? He said to Griff, and he's like, I need this. I need this. I need this. He's
and just hard. This is how we looked at him. So intense and everything, and removed, emotionally removed. And, you know, he's like, okay. Like, you can just see in the looks. I love the looks in this because you can tell they've been through a lot. And even him looking at Rita when they were in the barn, hiding out, and he kind of like was asking about coffee, or you like 3 sugars, and she knew. So those stares that they had, you can tell that there was a lot of meaning behind it. And then of course at the end when he was looking at her, and he, like, you can tell he really loved her at that point. I just love the feeling of that. I think this movie was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Just before she kissed him, though, when she fell on him, I was like, please don't make it like a love scene before, you know.
I know that was kind of cheesy.
I'm glad they didn't do that. Like, she was on top, you know, and kissed him. I'm glad that
this is make out here, even though it's like we're not going to reset time, and there's an alpha right there, and we're the only chance humanity has, and let's just make out for brother. I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I'm really happy they didn't either, because that was too cliche. And you can
about that myself, you know.
And you kind of wonder if it's going to be like a love story, if there's going to be something there. And I love how it was more of a focus of the actual, surviving, saving humanity.
Because you knew that
there's a mission.
You knew that he was in love. I mean, you knew.
But I do like the whole love story thing. So I did like that he started really feeling for her, and it wasn't about him at the end. Like in the beginning, he was all afraid for his own safety and higher than everyone else, and he was like, "Well, you do your job, I'll do my job, or do your thing, or however you put it." And he's like putting himself above everyone else. The general's like looking at him like, there's a huge war and most of humanity's freaking dead already, and you're just saying, "Oh, I don't want to." No one wants to die, but you're representing these soldiers, and yet you can't even see blood at all from a paper cut. It's
and you became a major because you need to work for us at the end of the day.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, I just did it for advertisement reasons because I'm trying to avoid doing that." But it was interesting to see him like so cowardly and only into himself, and yet at the end he just cared about saving Rita. He wanted to save humanity. He wanted to save. He really
opposite.
Complete opposite from how he was. And I love the music too, where it was so dramatic. It was so good. The bass and everything was like and then after we got into this world and we're like, okay, it's about aliens and this big war's going on, and it was so intense. But once we saw repetition a lot with Cage learning how to go through the beach, and he kept getting killed. We were laughing, but that was kind of the idea. They wanted you to laugh at it. And I really love the scene where he's running, and then the truck hits him.
Oh my God.
And because it's like, and then he goes quiet, and then he goes, bah! Again, and then it starts again, almost in the same spot, and then he just misses it. He just gets ahead of it. And I thought that was so funny. That's like my favorite part. That made me chuckle. I think they shot this really well. And they're like arguing like an old couple, Rita and Cage, and we're like, okay, well, this is how we have to get through here, and you have to like look left or look right, and you have to duck this way. And they would show that, but the timing, like you'd have to know the timing too, and to remember all that when all this chaos is happening around you, it's like that's a lot to remember. So they had to go through it hundreds, if not thousands of times. So I think you would just be completely removed from everything at that point. Like, I know he cares about Rita, but I can see him really caring for her anyways because she's the only one who understands the situation. I can't imagine, like, feeling that much after reliving the same day. It's almost like artificial at that point. It's not even reality anymore.
I gotta say the same line. This guy's gonna do this to me.
Breaking his back, getting shot. Like everything.
Like he was going, he was training, and she goes, "Oh no! Oh,
he's trying to
your back. Oh, it's all right. I can feel my toes when he broke his leg.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was dragging
away.
And in the beginning, although she only knew him for a day, technically throughout the whole entire movie, maybe 2 days, like towards the end, but she didn't even care. Like every time he injured himself, she would always have some kind of funny quip after that and be like, "Oh, it's like, oh well." We're just kind of like, "Oh god, it's so annoying," but you just have to die. But what do you think of those aliens?
That was horrible. They're just like balls of razors with arms.
Yeah, they were crazy. And it's neat because any alien that we've seen so far on movies, shows, whatever, like any aliens that we see are not like this. Like they always resemble some kind of creature. And I guess you can go out of the way and say that they kind of resemble some kind of like octopus or something, but I don't really see that too much besides tentacles. I thought they did a good job with them, and they're so bizarre. And they move so differently from us because, yes, they look very differently, but you think they'd move like an animal or some kind of creature on Earth.
Yeah,
but
they can move in anything, too. In sand, water.
Water, yeah, they can just like fly over water, and they look like tumbleweeds.
Oh my God.
I noticed this time around, because they were rolling really fast, it looked like that's probably how they get around so quickly over water and sand and stuff. But they can burrow, they live underground or just stay dormant underground, and they can be anywhere. Except flying. And I'm curious where those plasma blasts came out of because I know they were aliens. I don't know if they shoot them themselves, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we kept seeing them on their side, and they kind of resembled what the creatures, the mimics, look like, too. So I'm curious what you guys think about that. I didn't see any weapons on them besides... I mean, like, their whole bodies are weapons anyways.
Yeah, one big weapon.
The only way we can really associate to them is that they had, like, faces, but they had, like, scary, open, weird mouths with sharp teeth.
Creature-like. They were really just robot-like.
They reminded me of like some like bacteria or something where it's so weird. The only thing I could think of are like tiny organisms, but huge. and they kind of morph and change. They're super fast. And again, they manipulate time too. So maybe time has a weird thing there because the animation, when they move, like it's like jittery, almost like they're not in our time. That's me overthinking it, but I think they did that on purpose because it had to do with time. That, like you didn't see smooth movement. It was all like jumpy and flickery almost when you saw them. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but when it came to the orange mimics, because everything was moving so fast, but once in a while one would just stop itself and it would have these like shooting sharp straight tentacles come out really quick. It would go like boom, 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 boom like that, like pulsating. And I noticed that they were calling the alpha. So it happened too fast, so you might not have caught it. But one would always stop, and then it would flash. Like, you would see these, like, big spikes. It was a tentacle just going straight out. And right away, a blue alpha, because they're so rare. So I kind of connected that with, okay, he's calling the big guy to come over. He needed help or something. Or, like, hey, we need to reset because we're not doing well over here, or whatever the scenario was. But it did work in Cage's favor. But I thought the idea of those aliens was actually really freaking cool and very different from anything I've seen.
Different.
And I like the idea of time.
I thought that when she was getting like kind of like annoyed with Cage, like, you have to do this. I've been there. I know. Like when he was going to get injured, I'm going to kill you. I have to kill you to reset the day. I thought that she might, if he did get hurt and he needed a transfusion, that she would be taking his, instead just taking his blood. Somehow, or if she's getting hurt, something goes back to her.
Yeah. I mean, because they haven't tried that, because she said she tried everything, so in that kind of vague way...
Instead of his way, what he kind of wanted to do.
Right.
I know, yeah. In that vague way, it kind of, like, says that maybe she already tried that.
Yeah.
But I thought that, too. Like, why didn't she have, like, a blood transfusion where he gave some of his blood to her, because then maybe she can have some alpha blood. But I'm just assuming that didn't work, but that's a good idea, because maybe that could be a thing. Like, oh, crap, that's the one thing I didn't try. I had sex with all these people, and that didn't work. But it's fun how they put some humor in there. It's like so intense, and he's like with these crazy machines and stuff that he has to fight, like these claw things. But it was different, but it was good because they moved just like the creatures did. So, and they're lethal because you only get one chance, and it's amazing, like with how fast these things
he died how many
move.
times.
How do you really fight that? And having these cool exoskeleton type suits was very, very convenient and very good that they had time to actually make a weapon like that when these aliens arrived. I mean, I know they've been at this war for years, but thank God they were able to even figure out that technology.
And they were agile, but they were very heavy. I mean, when he first started...
You can see how massive and strong they are.
Yeah.
But it's neat, too, because when you really know how to work with them, because they're battery powered, like they're heavy and everything, but with the battery power, there's like hydraulics and stuff, so apparently they're really... like strong, and you can like leap really high, and you could do some really cool maneuvers with them. But they are really heavy too. So I love seeing Full Metal, or I'll say Rita. I love seeing her battle, and she was flying in the air and flip around.
It's so heavy, but it's so awkward too for them.
It's so clunky and everything.
And
then they were on the beach. Oh yeah, I know, the caravan. I'm like, okay, how are they going to do that?
But I love seeing them together because it was kind of like an old couple like arguing the whole time. But
and I forgot to take the camera off.
Yeah.
Well, good thing she didn't take it off, because that mimic was in there, right? Or did he jump in
he went in after. Yeah, he was following and just ended up in it.
Oh, okay, because I thought he was in there already.
I kind of thought that the first time I saw it, but then I was like, well, they're so fast and crazy that they don't just go hee 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 like because they've been riding
here until she.
Because
then they were riding around. Yeah, because then they were riding around for a while too, and so I wouldn't be like, okay, now I'm going to jump out and get you.
I like the gang. I like Nance.
I like J Squad. And Bill Paxton, like he's a really good actor. I said he was Bill Pullman. I love Bill Pullman too, and I just like spewed that out. So sorry I said the name wrong, but I'm like, oh yeah. And then we know Rita from A Quiet Place.
Oh, that's right.
That was a really good movie too, and she's a great actress.
Yeah, I liked Quiet Place.
I know, and this is PG-13, so I'm like, okay, I know you guys can probably handle this. And you guys, for the most part, even though it was scary, like, you guys could handle it. And I've noticed when it comes to sci-fi stuff, like, you guys tend to get excited and enjoy it more. when it's something scary, because you know it's not real and you live in the moment and you feel for the characters and stuff. But I think it helps you know that, okay, it's sci-fi. And
when real life is something different.
Yeah, like Breaking Bad. Like we're new into that. But yeah, so when it comes to actual war stuff, like we do get a lot of requests for like Saving Private Ryan, Dunkirk, and like all these other war movies, and I haven't seen those, but I hear how horrific they are, and anything to do with war in general, like especially when it's real, like I just don't want to put you guys through that, because I don't even think I can handle it, but I really don't think you guys can handle it, and I don't want to disturb you guys. But with something like this,
I hear they're very good, but
I know, I hear great things about them, and but I just think it'll be just too disturbing and emotional. Like I don't want to distraught you.
Real life,
Yeah, when it comes to real life stuff, like that gets really hard. But who knows? Maybe Kim and I love you, Mom. I just don't want to put you through it. I don't want to really put you through it too, but I know you could probably handle it more. But maybe we can do it with the second group. With Erica and Wookie and Florida Lee and Kimmy. We'll see. But we'll figure that stuff out, because now we're bringing on. No, I mean, like if you wanted to, but I just I can't see you doing it, because even
I'm sorry,
a few brothers, not few, but like even a brother or two said like, I don't know if Mom can handle war movies, and I'm like, I don't want to push it too much, but we do. Sometimes I do surprise you in what we're watching, but I always want to make sure that whatever we go into isn't going to be too traumatizing. Yet I contradict myself when we're watching Breaking Bad, but people did warn us about Vikings too.
Yeah,
and
but
we're
then
doing okay
Father
with that.
watches war movies, and sometimes I'll watch a little bit, and then I'm hiding my eyes, and I'm leaving.
Yeah, but I don't
watching,
think
like,
Dad would watch like bad movies in front of you, because I remember
old war movies
Yeah,
he's
they're
watching,
old.
so it's not like it is now.
Yeah.
anything like really traumatizing, I'm sure he wouldn't watch in front of you, because I remember when we were growing up, he would get so upset if something like violent was on TV.
Yeah.
He's like, "You can't see this, nope," and he wouldn't allow me to come
What
in
a
the
good
room. And
parental
I know he
control.
probably would do the same
That's
thing
what
to
I
you
tell
too, though, because he always got mad when someone
I don't
watched
know
something
nowadays,
violent like that.
I don't know.
But Dad, he's been there, like,
Yeah.
he served too, so I can't even imagine going through something like that. But, so you guys like the movie?
I really enjoyed it.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We finally saw a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah, big black eyes when he had
my
at the
gosh,
end.
yeah,
When he
yeah.
transformed, when she stabbed his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God she didn't kill him like the last time he
my
reset.
Just
and
do it.
You just do it. Yeah, just jabbed it in him. I know when I first saw that thing, I'm like, where does that go in your
the
head? Oh my God. It's like, oh, it didn't work the first time because I killed everyone I tried to like stab.
Oh my gosh.
But did you guys like the movie?
I liked it a
I
lot.
liked it a lot too.
Mm-hmm. It was confusing, but
It
you
was
guys followed
hilarious.
it pretty
Like,
much.
oh my God, he's
My
going to
God.
go through this again and again.
Then you
Just think of your
then you
mental
just
state.
expect it.
Yeah, but just like your
Back
mental state in
on.
that, like how do you move on from that? Like you're repeating the same day over and over again, and how do you really relate to anything after that? Because then nothing's really real anymore, because it is, but then it isn't, because it's going to reset anyways, or how do you move on from that day, like at the end?
It was good. Like there was a couple of jumps where he learned, and then he did a big jump. Then he had to go find her. Then when she told him, "Go find me," after you, when you wake up, go find me. So that was another big. That was the first big jump. Mm-hmm. And he learned from his mistakes.
Yep, and then he gave up
sure.
a few times too, because then he found it hopeless. So to relive that like thousands of times, most likely, like that's crazy,
Right.
and to still not be insane after that, or even still caring, like. Again, like it's overthinking it, but really like going through all of that, and for him to be so hardcore at the end,
Right.
I think that was
And
such
to
a
the
cool
point where
transition.
even when she was training, and he went up and he stepped into her area, he's like nothing. Like I don't want to talk. He didn't even want a part of her.
Yeah,
he didn't
he
want
just
to do
gave
it all
up at
over
that
again.
point,
So he just turned around and
gave
that
up on having her go.
Yeah,
with
he
him,
gave up. He was like, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own.
Mm-hmm. And then he did it on his own, and then another time he gave up, and then they're calling him a coward in the bar, and then he realized that humanity's screwed anyways because London gets attacked anyways. I thought it was a really fun story, and I'm happy that it had a happy ending, and he had a really strong mind, and he still wanted love, he wanted to be with her, and that was cool that she even said that, I wish I knew you before this or something, so that was kind of neat, and I'm glad how it worked out.
Me too. I liked it a lot.
Good.
And they're both very brave, because she sacrificed herself, and he even died right before he dropped the bombs into the Omega, and then they still were able to reset and live happily ever after. So please let us know what you think of this movie. I thought it was intense.
Thumbs
I love
up.
the music. The animation was pretty cool. We saw the aliens in broad daylight, and sometimes when you see that, it's kind of like, you know, you don't really feel as scared because they don't always look so real. And even though these things were so freaking bizarre, I think they did a good job with the animation to really make you believe, like, holy crap, you know, and the energy of it still just, because they were so twitchy and crazy that
you didn't
the
know
energy
which way
of
they
it
were
kind
gonna
of made you accept it more, and I thought it was more exciting.
Yeah.
So please let us know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
On your feet, maggot. Do we have boots?
I'm not going
Look
to
at Dad's snow boots.